Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Dee again, and welcome to The Roads with Dee. Today, we're on the Interstate. Belle tested this concept out, and y'all really seem to like it. So this is the first episode of what should be a weekly series. The idea is to present news from the state level that will end up having national importance later, or news that make it into the national news cycle but was overshadowed. I'm Dee, and I've been with the channel since 2020. The concept behind this is very similar to the roads not taken, but it would focus on important state-level news that often gets missed until it breaks on the national scene and surprises people. So think of this as just a little heads up for what you might see later. Starting off in Arizona, Kari Lake suffered a massive setback in a series of polls. The most favorable had her losing by 6 points. The least favorable had her down by 14 points, and that was a Fox-sponsored poll. It's certainly Ruben Gallego's race to lose at this point. In California, the governor signed Assembly Bill 3089, which will issue a formal apology for all of the harms and atrocities committed by the state that have roots in racial discrimination. Then he vetoed Senate Bill 1050, which would have helped restore property taken through racially motivated uses of eminent domain. In Georgia, at least 11 were killed by Hurricane Helene. The totals for this hurricane are nowhere near complete yet. In North Carolina, it looks like Trump is continuing his endorsement of Robinson, despite his ever-growing list of scandals. North Carolina is a must-win state for Trump. Doubling down on Robinson seems like an extra risky strategy. Also in North Carolina, the effects of Hurricane Helene laid bare the country's infrastructure issues as I-40 became impassable between North Carolina and Tennessee due to flooding and mudslides. At time of recording, there are multiple dams in the area threatening to fail. In Minnesota, the Secretary of State's office was evacuated after the office was mailed a suspicious package. There were similar incidents in Colorado, Connecticut, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Wyoming. There seems to be a trend that will start getting coverage. In Missouri, the CDC is looking into the possibility of human-to-human spread of bird flu after 4 more healthcare workers showed respiratory symptoms after tending to a patient who had no known animal exposure. At this point, there is no confirmation of any of them actually having bird flu. Moving on to Nevada, a key election official in a critical swing county has taken a leave of absence due to stress after becoming the target of constant conspiracy theories related to Trump's false claims in the 2020 election. There is issues brewing in Ohio where votes cast for Green Party candidate Jill Stein may not count due to an issue with deadlines and VP replacements. There will probably be more challenges. In Pennsylvania, officials are preparing people for the likelihood of not knowing the presidential election results the night of the election. Be ready for a lot of wild claims about any race in any state that doesn't have the decision that first night. Also in Pennsylvania, a student at Gettysburg College is accused of using a box cutter to scratch or carve a racial slur into the chest of another student. The college released a statement saying, quote, "There is no place on this campus for words or actions that demean, degrade, or marginalized based on one's identity and history." The student who is alleged to have used the box cutter is reportedly no longer enrolled at the school. Wisconsin's Supreme Court has decided to keep JFK Jr. on the ballot. Now on to some questions from y'all. If y'all want to direct them straight to me in the future, you can send them to questionforbo@gmail.com and then add my name in the subject. These are some questions that have come in over the last week that seems to best fit here. Question number 1. Is the person taking over for the state level news Dana? Nope. I am a whole different person. I don't have anything to do with Research Road, although I might start now that they're playing with toys over there. Question number 2. Is there any way that the new person who starts the state level news show can add something fun at the end, like Dana's quote of the day? Or, I don't know, a book recommendation or something. I find myself always waiting to hear the last bit from Dana and think it's a nice treat at the end. I'm very open to suggestions on this. Drop any you might have in the comments. I like the idea of ending with something not necessarily news. Maybe a weird state fact. Help me out here. Question number 3. If Bo is internet dad and Belle is internet mom, who are the other hosts coming on? Brothers? Sisters? The cool aunt? Can we ask them for advice? I'm not sure about the etiquette here. You can ask any of us anything. No promise we'll answer, but if you ask, just put our names in the emails. We'll get it to the right person. So, that was a run down the interstate. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Okay, that looks like it. We'll see you next week for another trip. Y'all have a good day.